Hi, happy Tuesday. It's another week of this. So how we doing? Are we surviving? You know what? Thank God February's over. We made it to March. The snow is starting to melt. Like seriously, it's weird how long the snow stayed put. I can't remember the last time we had a blanket of snow that just kind of stayed put in this area of the US. It was kind of nice, to be honest, and hopefully it'll be nice in the springtime. Maybe there won't be so many mold spores and, make me wish I was dying. And my poor kids have such bad allergies. So, yeah. And also, February is just an annoying month anyway with the whole birthday thing. Don't say happy birthday. That's gone. Valentine's Day can be kind of annoying. That's gone. So here we are. We're getting into spring territory. St. Patrick's Day is in March. It it's like the hope of things to come that March brings with it that I'm really looking forward to. So I've been in just a black mood for the past week. Last Tuesday was a bad day. I'm sure you read, I had my little anxiety episode, and just the rest of the week was just freaking shot for me. The weekend was bad. Yesterday was kind of crappy too. And today I have to do some things, so I have to do it, and I'm not entirely happy about it, but once you get moving, it gets easier. That's the thing. So here I am, and I was thinking, because when I get into these kind of black places, it's something that bothers my husband. There is no button to push that gets me out. There is no one reliable thing that you can do over and over again that magically heals me. I have to kind of pull myself out of it by myself, unfortunately, and it's really hard for my husband to watch. And we were talking the other night, and he was like, I can't compliment you. You were so horrible at taking compliments. And that got me thinking. It was like, compliments make me uncomfortable. Who else is uncomfortable by compliments? Not just me, right? Please. I don't like compliments. They make me very uncomfortable. I think I've known, so it's a double-edged sword here. I've known too many people who are fake, and they give fake compliments, and then like my childhood was always put downs, always insults, always criticisms. So now when people will compliment me, I tend to kind of, are you being sarcastic? Like, I always tend to question it, or, I'll be like, thank you, yeah, you complimented me, you don't mean it, thank you. That's kind of what always happens. So I started thinking, I was like, can you actually pay me a compliment that would make me happy? Like, I have a friend who is a legitimately, like, brilliant writer. Like, she's really talented, and her writings are awesome, but she's also like big brain energy kind of person. Like, she's intimidating. She's so smart and so talented, and she's very comfortable with that. So when she gets compliments, it's very, thank you, so confident. And it's like, why can't I be that way? I'm such an awkward spaz. Why can't I be like, thank you? It's like, you don't really mean that. That's what I turn into. So I started thinking, what could you compliment me on that would actually, one, I would believe, and two, make me feel good? Like, I've been telling people for years, because I'm a woman, I guess, people think they have to make comments about how I look. And there are a certain few people who can. People who know me, they know where to go with that. But when people like compliment my clothes or compliment my hair or this stuff, it's like, if you want to have that compliment land with somebody, go say it to my mom. You will make her day. Me, no, I'm gonna go up and hide now. You scared me. I don't want to be here anymore. And like, if you want to compliment me and make me feel good, compliment my kids. Tell me how well behaved they are. Tell me how funny they are. Compliment my cooking. Tell me I'm a good cook. That will make me happy. Tell me my house is clean. That will make me feel good. Tell me I'm funny. Don't tell me I'm smart. I will never in a million years believe you, because it isn't true. My God. But tell me I'm funny. Tell me you enjoyed something I wrote. Which brings me to, this is a long way of getting around to the point, but, storyteller, this is what I do. Do you have a thing? I have a thing for quotes, for sayings, for things like that. So I've got these books here. This one's we'll get to that in a minute. But I've got like the New International Webster's Pocket Quotations Dictionary. It is literally just quotations. Like, here's a proverb. Gratitude is the least of virtues, but ingratitude the worst of vices. It's full of stuff like this. And then this one, the 2,548 best things anybody ever said, selected and compiled by Robert Byrne. Also, quotes. These are so, I cannot tell you how much I love these. I cannot tell you, like, when I'm feeling kind of down, when I'm in the doldrums, I like to read quotes by people who were good with words. They're not always writers. Some of them were orators. Some of them were just all around smart people. And they left great quotes to look through. And it's amazing how they're mined for. Some of them are pulled from speeches, from interviews, from massive fat books. And these little snippets, these little sound bites, if you were, they still resonate, at least with people like me, because I just love it. I love quotes. I love, like, this one especially. Like, it'll be backwards on the thing, I'm sorry. I'll put a link down below in the righty part of this. The righty part, good with words. For this book, because I've gotten years of joy from this book. Some of it's dirty, some of it can be very adulty, and some of it is very silly. It's just all around a good time. Now, something I will say about this book that kind of amuses me is selected and compiled by Robert Byrne. I honestly, give me 1 second. I think Robert Byrne, it's spelled B-Y-R-N-E. It's not Robert Burns, the Scottish poet, although he has quotes in here. He's a very funny man. So, yeah, he's an author. He's got a head of hair on him. So, what's funny about this, I'll get to the point. He compiled this list of quotes, and it's a fantastic list, but there are quite a few from him. To have that kind of confidence, I suppose. With anthologies, sometimes you'll see that happen. Now, among writers, this can be a debated topic, where editors or the small press owners will include stories of their own into anthologies they're either putting out or editing. Some people want nothing to do with that. Never do that, blah. I tend to be like, if you have a story that fits in with the anthology you're putting together, yeah, put it in there. That doesn't make me look at you like you're a creep. But there was an anthology a few years ago, and some of these small press anthologies can tend to get a little out of hand. They get very, very large. Not all of them. Not all of the large ones are bad, but this one was a mess. This one was a mess. And the editor had something like 6 stories of their own in this anthology. I can see how that might be seen as a little tacky. Just me. But, yeah. So this, love it. This one is a little more serious, the Webster's one. It's, it takes itself kind of seriously. This one is all fun and games. There are serious ones in here, but there's also, like, famous last words, which I have to tell you, I'm kind of low-key obsessed with. Like, Oscar Wilde. Amazing last words. Either this wallpaper goes or I do. He made a joke as he was dying. I can't remember who made their last words were ow, fuck. I can't remember who it was. It was a famous writer. They were dying, like in the process of dying, and had slipped into unconsciousness, and the nurse came in and delivered a shot of morphine or something to just kind of ease the passage. And as he was getting the shot, ow, fuck. And those were his last words. I love it. It's one of those things I kind of had this weird obsession with. Now, when it comes to silly readings, I don't just read the classics. I don't just read horror. I read a lot of nonfiction stuff too. I read a lot of biographies. I love reading biographies on powerful, interesting women. And, that includes female celebrities. If that makes me kind of a gossip hound, I don't care. I'm having fun. But I like to read when like funny people. They're not necessarily comedians. Some of them are. Like, did you ever read Rob Delaney's essay collection that was all funny? Like, serious but funny, kind of like a stand-up routine in book form. It's fantastic. Sloane Crowley, one of her collections is really great. I like those essay collections by smart, funny people who are very much invested in inserting levity into this storytelling. I love that. But this book, again, I'll put a link below. If I try to show it to you, it'll turn it backwards. 5 people who died during sex and 100 other terribly tasteless lists. This book. Now, I will say it wasn't quite as fun as the title would have you believe. Honestly, it's like BuzzFeed in book form, if you know what I mean. Do you ever go to the website Fact Republic? Like, I can spend hours there going through Fact Republic, where it's random facts, or facts about ancient Rome, or facts about feminists, stuff like that. If you've never been there, check it out. It's really fun. That's kind of what this is, which is why I loved it. I was expecting it to be a little more, I was honestly expecting it to be a little more schoolyardish, a little more immature than it was. I love a little bit of immaturity injected into life. I have to live maturity sometimes, and I'd rather kind of devolve into a child every now and then to just sort of blow off steam. It's a fun book. Again, links, I'll provide these in case you want to look into it. But what kind of stuff do you read to kind of blow off steam, to kind of clear the clouds and improve your mood? Because you know I'm open for recommendations. Hit me up, tell me what you do. If you want any more of the links to the books that I mentioned in here, I will, if you ask. I just don't want to provide you with a whole list of links. I think 2's enough for now. But do you have an interest in famous quotes? Do you have an interest in like what smart people say? You know what? I forgot to bring this around. We'll do that now. So, as someone who writes, I do guest blog posts. I do a lot of interviews. I have podcasts. I've written 5 books now. Every now and then, I think maybe it's happened a small handful of times in the 6 years I've been doing this professionally, someone will pull something from something I wrote and quote it and just go, wow, that, you want to really compliment me? You want to make me soar? You want me to remember your name forever? That's it. Pull something that I wrote and quote it. Please, not one of my dumber things. But it's something that, you felt had resonance. Because I'm not necessarily trying for that, but I'm not avoiding it either when I write. I'm really just trying to relate to the human experience. I think if you read my stuff, even the blog posts, I like to focus on the minutiae of life. I like to focus on the little things. My stories the settings are all relatively small. The character list is relatively small. It's more about people than circumstance, usually. I mean, circumstance has to play into it to get a story, but the story is about the people. So you're not getting great big philosophical thoughts from me on society as a whole, but about the crumbs of it. If society is a gigantic wedding cake, the crumbs that are left behind after you've cut it and divvied it up, that's where I'm writing. And every once in a while, someone will pull a quote and tag me in it, and it's just like, this, I want to be in one of these quote books. So, thoughts? And that'll be it for me today. I wonder if the remote will misbehave today. We'll see. And I hope everybody's doing okay. I hope that this infusion of optimism and hope and spring is coming, I get to start my garden, I hope that kind of stays put with me, and I hope it affects you too. I hope, we are at a point now with the pandemic where there is a light. We can't quite gauge how long the tunnel is right now with all these variants coming out, but there is a light and there is an end. We know it's coming. And for me and my family, we're just trying to make sure that we're maintaining the level of cautiousness and empathy that we've had for the past year. It has been a year at this point. We have been social distancing and locked in our home for a year at this point. And I don't regret it. We've been safe, but the paranoia and the worry and watching people I love get COVID-19 and suffer through it has been a heavyweight, and I very much look forward to this being over with. I'm a homebody anyway. I've told you this hasn't been a huge difference of life for me. But I look forward to my kids being able to go over to their friend's house again. I look forward to my husband being able to go and be a dungeon master for the local Dungeons and Dragons games again. I look forward to going to cons again. I look forward to going to dinner with my mom and my friends. So there is that light, and let's just try to maintain some optimism. And this black mood has got to get out of here because it is messing with my productivity. So that'll be it for me today. And thank you, as always, for being here with me and putting up with this. But thank you. And I will see you next week. Bye. Oh, it's doing it again. Turn off.